Have you ever wondered why life makes you wait? Why love arrives only after heartbreak? Why peace comes only after chaos? And why clarity feels like it's always one season late? You tell yourself you're ready. Ready for love. Ready for healing. Ready for the life you've dreamed of. Yet everything feels paused. Like the universe is holding its breath, waiting for you to catch up to something you can't yet see. It's in those moments, the silence, the heartbreak, the unanswered prayers, that divine timing whispers its truth. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Maybe this is what divine timing really is. Not a cosmic delay, but a deeper unfolding. A sacred choreography where even the heartbreak has meaning, even the waiting has purpose. And though your heart aches to move forward, the universe might be asking you to pause, not because you've done something wrong, but because your soul is still becoming what it needs to be. So tonight, if you're listening with a heart that's tired of waiting, if you've cried for answers that never came, if you've lost something you thought you'd never survive losing stay, this moment is not wasted. This season is not a mistake. What if the pain you're carrying is not an ending, but a doorway? What if this ache is divine timing in disguise? In this space, we'll walk through the hidden beauty behind delays and heartbreaks, not as lessons, but as living reflections. You'll see how the things that hurt the most were not meant to break you, but to reveal you. How the universe has been guiding you, even in silence. And how one day, when you look back, every unanswered prayer will make sense. If you've ever felt unseen, unheard, or forgotten, this is your reminder. You are exactly where you're meant to be. And if this message resonates, take a deep breath with me. Let's walk this path together. And if you want to keep walking through stories like this, stories that remind you you're not alone, that help you see the beauty in your scars, and help you breathe through your becoming, you can gently tap subscribe. Not as a task, but as a quiet promise to your own healing. Because this space is for you, the one who's learning to trust the timing of their own life. Now, let's begin with a heart open, even if it's trembling. Because divine timing is real, even when it hurts. There's a quiet pain in waiting, the kind that doesn't scream, but lingers like an echo in your chest. You wake up wondering if today will be the day things finally change. You look around and see others moving forward, new jobs, new love, new beginnings, and you wonder why your life still feels like a half-finished sentence. You tell yourself you've done the work, you've healed enough, you've prayed enough, yet the doors you knock on stay closed. The silence feels heavy. It feels like the universe forgot your name. But what if the waiting isn't punishment? It's protection. There's a part of you that still believes love means losing yourself. That giving means overgiving. That peace means silence, not truth. Divine timing knows this. It sees what you can't yet bear to face, that you're still healing from old wounds disguised as habits. You're still learning the difference between love and attachment, between being chosen and being needed. And sometimes the universe withholds what you want so you can learn what you truly deserve. Think of the heartbreak that nearly destroyed you. At the time, it felt cruel. You begged for it to work. You clung to what was slipping away. But now, with distance, you see the truth that love wasn't love, it was survival. You see how you twisted yourself into shapes that weren't yours just to be enough. You see how the ending was actually mercy in disguise. Divine timing doesn't rush. It waits until you can love from wholeness, not from hunger. Sometimes, divine timing comes in the form of loss, not to take something from you, but to clear space for what's meant. You can't build a new chapter on the ashes of the old. You can't meet the love that's meant for you if you're still kneeling at the altar of the one who couldn't see you. And you can't step into your calling if you're still afraid to outgrow the version of yourself that others were comfortable with. There's a part of you the universe is still sculpting, the one who no longer chases but attracts, the one who no longer begs but receives, the one who no longer confuses waiting with worthlessness. That version of you is being born in the waiting, And birth is never gentle. It's messy, painful, necessary. It's the unraveling of everything false so that truth can emerge. You might not see it yet, but the threads of your life are weaving something exquisite. Every detour, every delay, every no was a redirection, not away from what's meant for you, but toward the version of you who can hold it. The love you crave, the peace you seek, the clarity you're searching for, they're not lost. They're waiting for the you who knows she deserves them. So if you're in a season of silence, don't curse it. Sit with it. Ask what it's trying to teach you. Maybe it's showing you where you still abandon yourself. Maybe it's asking you to release the version of love that hurts you. Maybe it's guiding you to trust your own becoming. Divine timing isn't a clock. It's a rhythm, one that moves to the beat of your soul's growth. And when you align with it, even the waiting becomes sacred. Even the pain begins to make sense. So take a breath. You haven't missed anything. You're not behind. You're right where you're meant to be, on the edge of something beautiful, even if you can't see it yet. There's a strange ache that comes when your heart knows what it wants, but life tells you, not yet. You feel the pull of destiny, a whisper that says, it's coming, and yet your hands are empty. You start to question if you heard wrong, if the dream was just a fantasy, if maybe you're not meant for more after all. But what if the universe is not denying you? It's deepening you. What if every delay is stretching your capacity to hold what's already written for you? There are seasons when nothing seems to move. You pray, you journal, you do the inner work, but the ground stays still. That stillness is not punishment, it's preparation. Because divine timing knows if you were to receive everything too soon, you'd sabotage it with the same wounds that once made you settle. You'd call chaos love. You'd mistake comfort for peace. You'd run from the very blessings that require your healed hands to hold them. So it waits until you no longer chase validation through someone else's eyes. Until you stop confusing being needed with being loved. Until you can stand alone and still know your worth. It waits until you stop asking, why me? And begin whispering, thank you for what I cannot yet see. There's something sacred about the moments when nothing happens. Those are the seasons that shape your roots. You can't bloom if your foundation is still fragile. You can't receive if you're still holding on to what's breaking you. Divine timing is the quiet gardener, pruning what no longer serves, planting seeds in unseen soil. You may not see growth yet, but beneath the surface, everything is becoming. Think back to a time you thought it was over, a door slammed shut, a love lost, a plan that fell apart. You grieved. You blamed yourself. But look closely now. Didn't something truer emerge from that ending? Didn't that heartbreak lead you closer to yourself? Didn't it reveal strength you didn't know you had? The universe doesn't withhold to harm you. It withholds to align you. Because what's meant for you is not fragile. It won't require you to shrink or beg. It won't confuse your nervous system or make you question your worth. It will come when you are ready to meet it with open eyes and an open heart that no longer bleeds for what was never real. Carl Jung spoke of synchronicity, those moments when meaning seems to reveal itself through coincidences, through chance encounters, through perfect timing. Maybe you felt it meeting someone just when you were ready to learn something new about love, or stumbling upon a message like this one right when your faith was fading. These moments aren't accidents. They're gentle reminders that you are not walking blind. You are being guided. And yes, it hurts. Divine timing often arrives disguised as heartbreak. It asks you to let go of what you thought you couldn't live without. It strips away illusions so that truth can breathe. But one day, you will look back and understand every delay, every loss, every silence was sacred. Each one carved space for a miracle you couldn't yet hold. So if you're waiting now, don't rush. Don't fill the silence with noise. Let it breathe. Let it teach you to listen not to the world's timelines, but to your soul's rhythm. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You are unfolding at the exact pace your heart can bear. And somewhere, in a place beyond your sight, everything meant for you is aligning. Not one moment too soon, not one moment too late. Sometimes, the hardest part of divine timing isn't the waiting, it's the breaking that happens before the becoming. Because before you step into what's meant for you, you're often stripped of what no longer is. You lose people you thought would stay. You walk away from dreams you once clung to. You face mirrors that show you not who you were, but who you're becoming. It's disorienting, it hurts, and yet it's holy. You might ask, why does it have to hurt so much? Because pain is the language of awakening. Because endings are the soul's way of saying, there's more for you than this. And because the version of you that will live the next chapter cannot carry the same fears, the same doubts, the same wounds that once kept you small. Divine timing doesn't give you what you want when you ask for it. It gives you what you need to become the person who can sustain it. That's why before the blessing, there's often a breaking not as cruelty, but as calibration. You are being aligned with the life that's waiting for you. There are moments when you'll feel forgotten, when prayers echo back in silence, when you cry into the night and no answer comes. In those moments, it's easy to believe the universe has turned its face away. But silence isn't absence. Silence is sacred space. It's where faith grows roots. It's where trust is born, not the kind that comes from evidence, but the kind that whispers, even here, I am held. Carl Jung believed the soul speaks through symbols, dreams, and moments that seem to carry hidden meaning. Perhaps your life is speaking to you right now through what's ending, through what's shifting, through what's staying painfully still. Maybe it's saying, you are not being delayed, you are being delivered. Not to where you want to be, but where you're meant to be. Think of the times you almost settled for love that dimmed your light, for work that drained your spirit, for a life that fit everyone else's expectations, but not your truth. Every no you received was a yes to something greater. Every door that closed was divine timing saying, not this, not yet. Because the universe doesn't just care about what you receive, it cares about who you become while waiting. You're being refined, not punished, prepared, not postponed. And the pain? It's not evidence of abandonment, it's evidence of transformation. You don't have to understand it all now. You only have to trust that what's meant for you will not pass you by, that the love you're longing for is being shaped alongside you, that the dream that feels distant is waiting for your readiness, not your desperation. So breathe. You're allowed to not have it all figured out. You're allowed to be both healing and hopeful. You're allowed to rest in the mystery, knowing that divine timing is not cruel. It's kind in ways your heart will one day recognize. The day will come when you'll look back at this very season and whisper, now I see. I was never behind. I was being built. And when that moment arrives, when the pieces click, when the timing finally feels right, you'll realize it was never random. It was always love. There comes a moment quiet, almost unnoticeable, when the ache begins to soften, when the endless waiting no longer feels like punishment, but peace. When you stop grasping for control and begin to trust the rhythm of something larger than yourself. That's when divine timing reveals its true face, not as a clock ticking against you, but as a current carrying you toward what is meant. You start to see the gentle patterns, the way certain people arrived just when you were ready to learn and left when you'd learned enough. The way heartbreak cracked you open to depths you never knew existed. The way delays turned into redirections that saved you from a path too small for your becoming. Suddenly, what once felt like chaos begins to make quiet sense. Divine timing is not about being ready in your mind. It's about being ready in your soul. You can't fake that readiness. You can't rush it with positive thinking or force it with sheer will. You grow into it, breath by breath, heartbreak by heartbreak, surrender by surrender. And one day, without realizing it, you wake up softer, not because life got easier, but because you've learned to stop resisting what's already written. Carl Jung said that what you resist persists. And in the same way, what you accept transforms. The pain you fought so hard against becomes the soil where wisdom grows. The emptiness you feared becomes the space where something true can finally land. The waiting that once felt unbearable becomes sacred, because you understand now that nothing real is ever lost, and nothing meant is ever missed. Look around your life. The people who stayed, they're mirrors of your growth. The ones who left, they were teachers, not failures. The moments that broke you, they were invitations to see your own strength. Divine timing was there in every twist, every silence, every shattered plan. It was guiding you, molding you, loving you in ways you didn't yet have the eyes to see. Maybe the reason it hurt so much is because you were shedding an identity built on survival. You were learning to live not from fear, but from trust. To love not from emptiness, but from wholeness. To walk not by sight, but by faith. And faith is rarely comfortable. It asks you to believe before you see. To hold hope when everything feels uncertain. To whisper thank you in the middle of tears. But something beautiful happens when you stop fighting the flow. You begin to see the grace in the gaps, the tenderness in the timing. You begin to rest in the knowing that your life is not random, that every thread, even the painful ones, is part of a tapestry far more intricate than you can imagine. And maybe, just maybe, the life you're dreaming of is already dreaming of you. Maybe it's waiting for the exact version of you who can receive it with gratitude, not desperation, with peace, not panic, with trust, not fear. So don't rush the becoming. Don't curse the pauses. The waiting isn't empty, it's sacred ground. Something is growing beneath the surface. Something is aligning perfectly, quietly, faithfully. Divine timing isn't late. It's right on time. And when it finally arrives, when love feels safe, when purpose feels clear, when peace fills the spaces where pain once lived, you'll know. You'll look back on this season and smile through tears, realizing it was never delay. It was destiny unfolding. So here you are standing at the edge of what was, and the beginning of what's to come. Maybe you still don't have all the answers. Maybe the path ahead still feels uncertain, but look at you still breathing, still hoping, still reaching for light even after the darkness tried to convince you to give up. That's not weakness. That's grace. That's divine timing alive within you. Because the truth is, your story was never meant to be rushed. Every delay, every heartbreak, every quiet season, they were never detours. They were sacred pauses designed to return you to yourself. To teach you how to love gently, how to trust deeply, how to stand firmly in your worth. And now, with every breath, you're becoming the person you were always meant to be. Not because everything finally worked out, but because you chose to keep going when it didn't. So trust the timing, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Because the same force that broke your heart is the one that will heal it. The same silence that felt empty is the womb of your becoming. The same weight that once felt endless is the rhythm of your rising. One day, you'll look back and see how it all fit together, how every unanswered prayer was protection, how every loss was a hidden beginning. And when that day comes, you'll whisper the words your soul already knows. It was always meant to be this way. If this message found you at the right moment, if it reminded you that you are not behind, that your path is sacred, let it be a sign. Breathe. Share this with someone who's waiting too. And gently, softly, subscribe not for me, but for you. Because your story is still unfolding, and it's beautiful.